Previously on Moneypenny. After all that work, we finally got to go out and go sailing. Stay tuned while we start playing with some new toys and also commit our own little act of piracy. Hello, Moneypenny fans. What are we? We are middle of June. It is warm for the first time in Chicago, which is very nice. Those of you who have seen this channel and have maybe read the blog and follow us on Instagram and all that good stuff will know that I love doing things on the cheap. Everybody always says, oh, boating's so expensive, you've got to be a millionaire to have a boat. Well, we're trying to prove that's not the case. In keeping with that, we've got some new toys. A friend of mine was updating his electronics on his boat, and so we bought a bunch of his old electronics. So we've got a nice shiny new to us Tridata with a couple of transducers. We've got a knot meter on the front of the boat, but this is a Tridata. It will give us speed, temperature and depth, which is good because we haven't got any depth right now, so that's good. That's a nice upgrade. And also we got ourselves, courtesy of my friend who decided to put a whole suite of brand new electronics on his boat, we've got a lovely new chart, new to us, chart plotter with a great little hookup. It's got a, sorry, it's a bit rolly. It's got a Sirius XM radio antenna, and it's also got satellite weather. So that will be very, very useful because anybody who knows the Great Lakes knows only too well that the weather changes every 5 minutes. And so very happy to have that in case we decide to do any cross-lake trips or anything like that. And we've got another surprise too, but I'll show you that one in a second. Anyway, I'm going to get on with starting to fit all of this stuff. That could be an adventure. So we started off on the chart plotter. We've got the mushroom on the back of the boat on the stern rail. This is for our satellite radio and weather, and we've got our whatever they call that cord. It's not a coax, it's the other one. That runs all the way down here and through a little hole down into the bottom of the boat. We haven't got this fully set and plugged in and zip tied up and pretty just yet, because we're going to have to pull this out to make solder connections for the wires that run to the screen. But that's a start, so that's good. So on the starboard side bulkhead we have this ratty old compass, horrible looking thing, and we think that this is going to be a good place to mount the receiver, the screen, sorry, for the chart plotter. So that's what we're going to do. And then on the other side we've got this even more ratty, oh god, that's disgusting, even more ratty old compass. We're going to replace that with a new compass, and then the Tridata we're going to put here. So yes, first things first is going to be to start looking at getting the screen and the display mounted for the chart plotter. So this is the inside of the bulkhead where that ratty old compass is. We've got this nice little cupboard which kind of hides everything. There's a big square hole here, so there's been some sort of electronics in there in the past, and we've got all kinds of wires and stuff coming up here, which I'm hoping is going to make wiring the back of the chart plotter in a lot easier. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to take this out, and then we're going to see if we can't make the chart plotter fit in there, but we've got to disconnect all of this stuff first. So I guess we'll turn the batteries off. So you know that big speech about doing everything on the cheap? There is one place I won't skimp, and that's tools. It's a bit indulgent. I used to be a professional woodworker, so I was lucky enough to have a professional suite of tools. But I'm sorry to say, if it doesn't say Festool on it, don't buy it. They are the best tools for the job. They last the longest. They stand up to the environment very well. They just work better. Simple as. Anyway, so what I figured out is this case cabinet thing, which is lovely, is actually too small. So we're going to have to take that off, and then hopefully we can line everything up and put the cabinet back on to cover everything. But the chart plot is not going to sit in there, so we're going to take this off and then disconnect some stuff. If it all goes that easily, I'll be happy. So wood, fiberglass, no problem, know what I'm doing. Electrics, mechanical stuff, not a clue. So we're kind of guessing here. So this comes from the boat and it goes up to the old compass. So I'm guessing that is the light in the compass comes on when it's dark. So I'm guessing that is something to do with that. So I think I'm going to disconnect the top two. I'm going to leave the rest of it connected up to the boat. I'm going to move this little blocky thing, and then we're going to cut the hole. Yeah, why not? So far, so good. Made a hole in my boat. Oops. My friend, who was kind enough to sell me this chart plotter, had it mounted to a pedestal type thing. So we found this this kit, flush mount kit here, so that we can mount it to the bulkhead. It's got a little housing and a rubber seal, and then some tension rods and stuff. And it also comes with this here template, which tells you how big of a hole to cut. So we're going to go and stick this on the front of the boat and see how it lines up. Okay, so one of the things with this is I have a rope bag that comes on and sticks on right here, and so I would like the bottom of the chart plotter to be up as high as possible, but still obviously covering the old hole. So just have a little feel around. I think that's where we're going to want it, and we want it to be, I guess, upright. Now, quite how you do upright on a boat, I'm not entirely sure. So we might just have to sort of eyeball this. We've got two of these, so if we don't get it right the first time, we can pull this off and stick it on. But I think that's where we want it. Yeah, you see now the bottom here, and this is parallel-ish, and we should be good. So here's a bit of a problem. My handy dandy jigsaw that I was going to use to cut out my hole has a startup load of 700 watts, and my inverter has a startup load of 500 watts. So that's not going to work. So now we have to go and figure out whether there's somewhere around here that we can go and tie up, plug into the shore power, and cut a hole. Okay, so that was a bit of a palaver. It's a bit of a problem moving the boat from a can to a dock. You've got to put out your fenders and your dock lines, and you'll tie up your dinghy to your mooring and put your spike on your mooring and blah 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 blah. Anyway, it seems like a lot of effort just to go and tie up somewhere and try and steal a little bit of power to cut a hole, but that's what we have to do. I've now just got to try and find a slip that looks like nobody lives there and steal some power. So I didn't film any of this because it was a covert mission, but we've managed to come over to this little dock here. We've hooked into the shore power and we've got our hole cut for the housing. The only thing, in my haste, because I felt like an evil thief stealing the electric, I didn't put anything behind it to catch the dust, and so my boat is now full of dust. It never rains, but it pours. Okay, I'm going to untie from here, go back to my little mooring can, and see you on the other side. So the inside of the boat is now a dusty, ooky, gross mess. My little teak cabinet doesn't fit to cover up the back, but oh, and it also started raining, which is why I stopped filming this, because I just had to get it done, bearing in mind I had a hole in my boat. But check that out, brand spanking new to us sharp letter that actually doesn't sit level, but I just don't care. Next time on Moneypenny, we get everything wired up and then take it out for a test sail to see how it works. We also get to enjoy another wonderful Midwestern sunset. So please join us next time on Moneypenny.